Welcome back to another video on our channel, The Illumination of the Human Mind. I'm Sam and this is Lockie, and in today's episode we'll be informing you about the print of the ages. But anyway, enough of the boring stuff, let's get into the video.
We'll just take a quick pause to thank our sponsors, Ben & Jerry's, Grammarly, Universal Studios and KFC for all their support along the way and their contribution to make this video possible.
The historical figure that this video will be about is German inventor Johannes Gutenberg. He was born around the year 1400 and died in 1468 in Mainz, Germany, which was at the centre of a powerful league of towns in the area, and many chancellors and electors of the Holy Roman Empire came from there.
At the time, the Catholic Church held lots of power. Gutenberg was living in the Renaissance period, which was a period in European history which began around the 1400s. It involved a rebirth of society in a cultural, artistic, political and economic way and was flourished by greater cultural exchange, the rediscoveries of ancient Greek and Roman texts, emergence of humanism and a rebirth of art, knowledge and culture.
Johann Gutenberg was born in Mainz, Germany, and was the youngest son of a merchant, who was his father, and a shopkeeper's daughter, who was his mother. His father allegedly worked as a goldsmith for the bishop at Mainz, or according to other accounts, a cloth merchant. In 1411, there was an uprising in his hometown of Mainz, so the Gutenberg family fled to Eltville am Rhein, where his mother owned an inherited estate. It's presumed that later he emigrated to Strasbourg, France, for political reasons.
Gutenberg then studied at the University of Erfurt, Germany. He started his working life as a merchant and later moved into the field of blacksmithing and goldsmithing. Later, he moved back with his family and became heavily in debt due to an investment he made in holy mirrors that failed.
During the 1300s to 1400s, people had developed an extremely basic form of printing. This involved using letters or images cut into wooden blocks. These blocks would then be dipped in ink and then stamped on paper. Gutenberg was desperate for money after his failed investment and had previously experienced working with the machines in the mint. He thought that if you put cut blocks inside the machine, it would make the printing process much faster, allowing texts such as the Bible to be reproduced in mass quantity, allowing books to be more accessible to the general public.
The printing press was invented around 1436 and was by far the most significant thing that Gutenberg did during the Renaissance. It revolutionised printing by vastly speeding up the printing process. It was an invention that changed the world because for the first time texts were able to be reproduced in mass quantities. This made books such as the Bible available to all instead of just the priests, which led people at the time to become more independent.
Gutenberg's bright idea in the Renaissance that changed the world was of course the printing press. The invention of the printing press was a crucial invention in the Middle Ages because it allowed for new ideas to be shared and for the scripture of the Bible, which was then easily printed and distributed for others to read.
This invention allowed people to access the Bible without going to church and listening to the priest for the first time. Before this, people would take the priest's word as there was no other way to access another opinion. This also gave the general public no reason to attend church. When Bibles became publicly available, it started to contradict the priests, so many people, like Martin Luther, challenged the church and it started to lose.
The printing press has spread around the globe and has grown and been modernised to become a household item that's used almost every day worldwide.
Most of us these days tend to take printed items for granted, but just imagine if Gutenberg had not invented the printing press. Books, magazines, newspapers, posters, Christmas cards, business cards, flyers would all not exist. Information would then spread slower and less accurately than it does nowadays. Originally, the printing press was generally used for books, pamphlets, and newspapers. Now we use the printing for almost everything. We print clothing, license plates, and many other everyday household items. Although Gutenberg was financially unsuccessful in his lifetime, the printing press allowed information to spread quickly across Europe through news, books, and scriptures.
Thank you for watching this video and we hope you learned something new. Don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure to check out other videos from the channel like Newton's Paradise and diving into Leonardo da Vinci's life.
But until then, pound it, nod it, see ya!